Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E. Nation for a very long time coming review of TX Texas Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in tawny port casks, folks. I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E., the man of the hour, the man of the power, the man that makes you the podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E. Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. And we are going to get into this whiskey that I have not gotten into in a very long time. I love it's got the black synthetic cork to go with the whole color and the whole aesthetic. Oh, man. This was, let's see, 101.6 proof, 50.8 alcohol by volume, bottled September of 2020. So, yeah, that's about the time I picked this up, or not too shortly thereafter. Now, what I love about TX, the company, they've got a marvelous blended whiskey, which is a blend of bourbon and malt whiskey, which is just the perfect marriage. One of the best. Their bourbons that they age in the Texas climate, you can definitely tell the Texas sun has a lot of influence on bourbon's general outcome, because look at how dark that is. Like, you almost can't see through the bottle. Like, only on the top you can kind of see it. The liquid is very, very opaque. And so, to me, these have always been excellent whiskeys. Now, for the port. Oh, wow, that is sugary. Wow, that is sweet. Like, that's almost like candied grape sweetness. Like you're chewing on some sort of like sugary grape candy, and that's immediately what your nose hits. Oh man, that got better as it sat in the shoulder. Well, folks, Slanjiva. Okay, the thing is with TX bourbon, it's kind of grainy. Especially the standardized bourbon, you're going to get a lot of grain on the palate. Here you get like grainy molasses with that grape candy sweetness. So the grain is there, but it's part of a greater concoction. I'm going back in. Kind of gives away to a bit more molassesy, brownie sweetness the more time you give it. Let's let some air in there. Now, for those who do not know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E. Nation has advised you well. Now, we're going to grade this as a bourbon, as a whiskey, as a cask-aged spirit. It's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, as a bourbon, Tony and I have actually graded this previously. I gave this 3.75 as a bourbon. Tony gave it 4 stars. I'm going to revise my score now after all this time, and I'm going to give it 3.25 as a bourbon, because its casking and everything is not what you would expect in a standardized bourbon. Now, we move on to whiskey. Now, as a whiskey, I'm going to give this much better marks. I'm going to move this back up to 3.75, because there's almost nothing you couldn't do with this. Like, there's almost nothing. You could cocktail this with any cola. You could put this in any whiskey cocktails. You could do some brandy cocktails with this particular whiskey. So, yeah, 3.75. In fact, I'm going to break it to 3.8, because I'm breaking the scale. I'm going 3.8 because it's that cocktailable. Now, as a cask-aged spirit, this is putting it up against all the Armagnacs, cognacs, brandies, bourbons, tequilas, at least the Reposado and Añejo. Pretty much anything that they age in a cask, I'm going to go 3.5. Because the graininess is something that, I'm going to be honest, I love TX Distillery, and they come out with new stuff every day that's always unique. But the first few batches of their bourbon was very grainy, and their finishing fixed it. Now, the fact that they were able to fix it with cask aging is a testament to art and cask aging. So, yep, I'm going 375. 375 as a cask aged spirit on a 5-star scale. So, excellent stuff. It just doesn't quite pierce that 4-star marker. Now, with all that being said, its shelving would be, depending on where I got more room, middle to bottom. I've got a lot of room on my bottom shelf, and I've got not a lot of room on my middle shelf. So if I get more room on my middle shelf, this moves up. But this is a middle to bottom shelf bourbon. Now, when this bottle runs empty, will I seek another one? It cost me $60 USD to acquire this bottle. Will I seek another one? Yes. This is some of the finer finished bourbons. Like, really, like, and I just love the fact that they use real boot leather here on the top of the bottle. This symbol right here on, like, you can see it engraved into the glass and on the label there. That's actually how the company that uses this boot leather has kind of a trademark stitch on the toe of the boot. And so that's the stitch that they put there. So to me, it's like, this is one of those, like, utterly Texas products. Firestone and Robertson Distilling, you can see that same stitch pattern is right up there too. To me, where this particular product really shines is if you've got a relation or some kinfolk that lives in Texas, this is one of the ultimate gifts to give them. Like there's a handful of distilleries in Texas that make great gifts for any friend of yours or relative in Texas. This is one of them. Because, I'm trying to think. There's a handful of them. But anywho, folks, you know what? That was this review of TX Port Finished Whiskey. As I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us for this very special impromptu review, folks. God bless every last one of you. I hope all of you make it back here to the K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. Happy, healthy, much the wiser. Catch you on the flip side, folks. And then
get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive. Nice. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah.